Hey everybody, it's Derek Ralston back with you with another episode of a marathon journey toward a better smile using Smile Love. And it's been a couple of weeks. Time for step number 11. But before we get there, let me show you what has happened since our last video. And that is, if you look right there, there's a gap between my two front teeth. My two front teeth have always overlapped on the bottom, and so we've got some room there and a bigger gap on this side, so there's a place for that tooth to go. Pretty amazing. Bottoms are looking pretty good, but there's still a long way to go for that, so little improvements there, but big ones up here. Now, this time around, what's going to happen is we were doing these three teeth, the two front teeth and the one next to it. Now we're moving over and adding another tooth. So this is going to be a little more intense this time around, but we're getting there and getting these front teeth to the spots where they're supposed to be, and that is exciting. But before we do that, let me talk about a little tip. This past time that we've been away, we did some scuba diving for Patty's National Women's Diving Day. So my wife wanted to go diving, so we went diving. And one of the things I wanted to bring back to you is, do you participate in a sport that requires a mouth guard, a mouthpiece, a mouth protector? If you do, and you're in the middle of a treatment plan, got a tip for you. Now, if you're in a sport that uses a mouth guard or a mouthpiece, you know that proper fit is very important. And if you're in especially a contact sport where you wear a mouthpiece, I'd really recommend that you keep your trays in and then make a mouth guard that fits over your trays. Otherwise, every 2 weeks you're going to need to reform a mouth guard because your teeth are going to be moving. Let me show you. This is a non-contact sport, but I'm a diver. And this is the mouthpiece that I like to use. And it's preformed to my teeth, which means that if I wanted to use it now, since this was formed months ago, it wouldn't quite fit. If you form it to your trays instead of your teeth, you're going to have a little easier time, but even then you're still going to have to worry about, well, every few weeks or so, even your trays change a little bit. So what I ended up having to do was go to a more generic mouthpiece, at least for now. It's not as comfortable as the molded one, but at least I don't have to worry about it misaligning my teeth. And when I dive, yes, I still wear my trays, because that's what Smile Love recommended. And anytime that you are moving teeth, you don't want to have those trays out for any protracted period of time, just enough to eat. So if you're participating in an activity where you need to put something in your mouth, go ahead and keep those trays in. Put that in and you'll be fine. That is one of the things I kind of worried about. I ended up inquiring to Smile Love and said, hey, I dive. So is there any difference? And they said, you know what? Keep your trays in, if at all possible. If there's no way that you can keep your trays in, then we need to talk. But anytime that you can, keep them in. Besides the fact you're moving teeth, so your teeth are a little bit on the loose side, and you want to make sure that you support them properly and don't bite into something that tries to run them off in a different direction. Speaking of a different direction, we are going on to step 11 that should take my teeth into the proper direction. Here we go. And as you know, the only time I will cut the camera is if I have to chomp down on these things in order to make them seat with a chewy, because you don't want to see me going I for 30 seconds or so. So here we go with the bottoms. Again, perfectly clear, perfectly smooth. Don't feel any burrs or ridges. Just nice. We'll put it in and see what happens. Always seat the back first. There was a big snap there. And it's in place. And now the top. And again, look at that. Perfectly clear, perfectly scalloped. Fantastic. Let's see how these feel. Okay, it took a little more work than normal to get these in. And the top still isn't quite seated yet. It's going to take a little bit for them to go in because it's moving, like I said, these 4 teeth instead of just 3. So, yeah. And yeah, not painful, just uncomfortable. And I expect the same thing's going to happen for the next 2 days. It's going to be uncomfortable. On the 3rd day, it's going to be a little more bearable, and things will all kind of seed in. And for the rest of the 2 weeks, it'll be just fine. So, are you thinking about getting your teeth straighter and don't want to use braces? Try Smile Love. I have a link down here. Check that link. They have a summer sale going on right now. Use that link. Use that code for the summer sale, and that will let Smile Love know that you heard it here. And then you can start your journey. And if you do, let me know what's going on with you. I'm having a great time. Smile Love has been wonderful as far as customer service. Whenever I have a question, I get a hold of them, and they are very prompt in getting back to me. And if they don't have an immediate answer, they let me know, hey, I'll get back to you within a few hours, and they always do. And it's been fantastic. Here we are, another step down the road, closer to a perfect smile. So, until we meet again, take care of your teeth, take care of that smile.